Ni hao. That's about the extent of my Chinese, I'm afraid. I apologize very much that I cannot speak to you in Chinese today. If I have been intelligent enough, I would do it, but I'm not intelligent enough. So I would also like to say thank you very much to Emin for inviting me today. It's a great honor. I have often seen so many events on Women's International Day, and I have never been a participant. I've really done some things today that I normally will not do in my lectures. I've never used personal photographs before, but today I wanted to try to show you how personal it is to be a woman in a modern world today. It's not easy. Even in such a modern frontier university like Fudan, there are not so many women professors. So I feel like I have to dig really deep and bring out the extra information for you. So I use some personal photographs. I hope my family forgives me. I want to talk about a personal professional journey. Which pathway do I forge as a woman, or in fact, in general? I think the interesting thing is that we think of ourselves on International Women's Day as women. And we think, oh yes, we have some challenges, we have to jiao you and keep going. But many of the challenges we have are quite similar for many people in the world, whether or not they are women. Even if you want to be a successful business manager or a successful academic, you need to overcome similar challenges. And so I want to show you how, for me, it's not so much being a woman, the same challenges for other things. This is my childhood family. The first thing I want you to notice is the boys. I have 3 older brothers. And in fact, I didn't know I wasn't a boy for a long time. We are playing cowboys and Indians and running around, and there is a dog, and we are in the mud, and we are disorganized. I never have to fight for my clothes. My brothers have to fight for the clothes because they are the same size, but I'm the youngest. So whenever they are too big, I get to have the clothes. Then I only have to fight my mother because she tries to give me girls' clothes, and I have to throw them in the garbage can so that I can wear the boys' clothes. This is the kind of family I have. Just down the street are my cousins. And my cousins, you will notice immediately, are all girls. 4 girls. We are born the same years. We live very close by, but we have such a different environment in some ways, yeah? So the first thing is to be really clear and ask yourself, even from the age of 3 years old, I'm asking myself, there's something different. What is it? I'm trying to understand, why is my situation different from this situation? I'm trying to work it out. Is it because they're boys and girls? I'm not sure about it. But look at this. In the middle of the family, there's kind of an invisible structure. There's some things going on. In the boys' family, we have competition. We are rough. We are jostling. I'm the winner. You're the loser. I can beat you up. Yes, I can beat you up back. We are daring. We're trying to do something dangerous. The girls, my cousins, they are always so sweet. They are working together. They are cooking together. They're very elegant. They have beautiful dresses. They're very polite. So the first thing is I notice there's something invisible structures that are different in the 2 families. So my first thing that I learn for my future career is acknowledge those structures. Acknowledge them. Don't hide them. Don't pretend they don't exist. If you see some kind of structure in your life, acknowledge it. And then you can start to ask questions. They are different. I am in a different family. Am I trapped? Is there any way to reach it, to touch it? So I asked my auntie, Auntie, you are making 4 dresses the same. Can't you make one more for me? Yes, darling, I will make you a dress. Oh no, what have I done? I'm going to become a girl. I'm going to be different now. I'm going to be in this family. I'm not going to be in this family. Luckily, after only 2 or 3 hours, I took the dress off and I was normal again. I felt very comfortable. But I tried it. I realized there are 2 different structures. And I realized I can try something and compare them. I can learn something from this. Something very important. So later I got older, I started studying, and I found that I like physics and I like poetry. I like them both. So which one shall I study? Oh, but physics has rigid, very specific structures. I'm more comfortable with those structures. I think I'm going to study physics. And poetry, you know, let's acknowledge it. Let's understand. Poetry has really different feeling. It's intuitive. The structures are not the same. But if I take a bit of this intuition and holistic feeling to my physics, I begin to learn something. I begin to learn that the physics in the textbook is not the only physics. The physics from my teachers is not the only physics. There is more to physics. They didn't exactly lie to me. They didn't deceive me, but think it's a good idea to use another structure to consider physics. But I can't. I can take another perspective. And I start to learn that actually I can see physics, which is valuable and realistic, maybe a different physics, a different reality for me than for them. But I can also do tests, I can do experiments, I can see if my interpretation of physics is good. So I begin to develop a career in physics because I can see physics differently. I can build new structures. I can build structures that are a little bit different to the way other people see them. And this leads to novel ideas and a good career. So why? Because my pathway is to acknowledge existing structures, to bring in other perspectives, and because you are comparing different perspectives, you can begin to see in the middle. What is in the middle? It's not just physics, according to the textbook. It's also physics according to poetry. It's also physics from an artistic point of view. There is still a reality of physics there. So this is my pathway I'm beginning to learn for my life. These principles are very important even in business and management, in making profits, in dealing with international development, any field of life. And then once you see what this new reality is, you can build on it more easily. Now, if you try to build on the textbook physics, and you definitely say, I'm not going to accept any physics except the physics in the textbook, guess what? Your physics is going to be the same as everyone else. Probably somebody already did it. Probably AI already did it. If you want to learn more about reality, you have to compare and contrast them. It's kind of a justice. It's kind of a balance. To find the balance, you have to contrast. So now I have a new project. I have come to Shanghai and I'm doing food waste sorting. And you know, there's so many experts on food waste sorting. But you know what? There's also a lot of failure. Everywhere in the world, it's a failure. Food waste sorting's not working anywhere. Only in a few apartments, but never in any town. There's no town in the world that can do successful food waste sorting. But the academics who are studying logistics will tell you, we understand it, we know the factors. The academics studying psychology will tell you, we understand food waste sorting, we know all about the psychology of food waste sorting. We can write 3,000 papers about it. They cannot predict anything. They cannot tell Shanghai how to change their policy and make it work. The marketing experts, they know all about selling the idea to you. Oh, recycling is so good for the environment. You love the environment. Because you love the environment, you would do the recycling. So there are different experts, and they all have their own way of looking at the subject. And by themselves, none of them work. Even when you mix them together, they don't work. So the reality is, none work. Now, I could sit in the psychology department and write another 200 papers about waste. And I would maybe get a promotion. But I wouldn't solve the problem for Shanghai. So if we look at my pathway again, first, I have acknowledged the existing structures. Second, I've brought in other possibilities and compare them. By comparing them, I can understand what's in the middle. What is in the middle? The circle goes around the circle and it knows the center. We can know the center. So what do? I build on the reality. The reality is that nothing works. I can build on that by saying, I'll do my own observations. I'll do grounded, phenomenological, empirical observations. My students will go to the field over and over again until we work out the factors. And we are not going to bring with us the textbook of psychology or the textbook of marketing. We're going to bring with us the question, how to fix this problem. It's a wicked problem, how do we fix it? This is exactly the same process for knowledge innovation in business. It's similar to the successful approach used by quite a few companies. You first figure out the important factors in the field. Then you develop your pragmatic theory according to it. So then from this, I can build a rigorous model. With this rigorous model, I can walk into any community in Shanghai and look at my model and look at the community and say, in this community, here's the problem. So we can make some suggestions to Shanghai. They already did so much work. They have the trucks, they have the organization, they have the logistics. Shanghai is an amazing city. Did you know that they diverted 10,000 tons every day? For 2 years this happened before the pandemic. This is an incredible success. But the point is, you cannot go to a problem and expect to solve it if your eyes and your glasses and your perspective are limited. You must bring more than one perspective. It's a bit like a balance. You have to use a balance. It's a bit like fairness. It's a bit like saying the data and the answer is waiting for you to discover it. It's waiting. But nobody can discover it because they're using the wrong rules. They're using the wrong textbook. The solution cannot be discovered. If you want justice for that solution, you have to use balanced viewpoint. You need to look with clear eyes. Now we are working on a new project. We are working on ESG, environmental social governance. You may know this. It's a hot topic for many different reasons, but I will tell you the biggest reason, really, because each specialist will tell you what's special about ESG for a completely different reason. So in the West, ESG has been dominating for many, many years. And I'll tell you what we have found in our studies. It's offensive. It's so unfit for purpose that using it is an offense from one country to another country. Because E for the environment, for example. How about if I measure China's carbon footprint? It's going to be very big because they are producing a lot. And America's carbon footprint is going to be very small because they don't produce it. They just use it. So they are ordering it and using it, but let's put the big black mark on China. This is what ESG can do. ESG is supposed to be an indicator for risk. The investment banks use it as a way of deciding, shall I make a big investment in Chinese company or American company? Oh, American company has a really good E indicator. Maybe I will use that one. The E and the S and the G, I can talk about all of them. They are all offensive and unfit for purpose. But you will see many, many papers, you will see books, you will see training courses. Probably all of you are trying to go to ESG training course right now because it's so hot. You're hoping you'll get a job in it. I'm telling you, next year it will be different because the Europeans, just 2 years ago, made a compromise. The E and the S has to be measured together, the S and the G. They critically looked at it. They couldn't fix everything, so they said, let's just fix it a little bit. But China is not going to just do this. China is really aware that this is totally without Chinese characteristics. This ESG system is biased against all of Asia. All of Asia. So we have to find an ESG approach which is consistent with the way that companies work in China and in Asia. And in China, of course, it should be compatible with the concept of ecological civilization. My team is developing a new one, and we're working very hard. And for the social part, you're supposed to be understanding the impact of each company on the community around it. So if you have a Belt and Road project, and they build a railway straight through the country, and it goes across the cemetery, the graveyards of the ancestors, maybe it's a problem. Maybe it's a social problem. But if nobody's measuring it, how can you know? At the moment, it's not measured. So we have a situation where my pathway is we acknowledge the structures and we really are honest with ourselves. Are we honestly saying that it's a good system? No, it's not a good system. Is it working? No, it's not working. We are honest. Now we know the reality. Now we can build. And we start to build. And the building is going to be, how can we represent those people and their social impact on them? How can we represent it from the bottom up so that every company in the world is held responsible for the impact they have on the people around them? If we do this, it's a bit like we're balancing. And we are bringing justice to the data. The data wants justice. The data wants to be discovered. So, in conclusion, there is no better time in history to be a woman. If you're in the audience and you're a woman, congratulations. You made it. You were not born 100 years ago. And you were not born 300 years in the future when the job hopefully will already be done. You were born in such an exciting period because we have opportunities. And we have awareness. We are aware that the structures in my family and my cousin's family are different. You know that the social structures for you and for your male co-workers are different. And for your husband and for you, they are different. And for your son and for your daughter, they are different. We are aware and we have opportunities. So we can create new structures. And these structures will bring in balance and fairness, and they will open floodgates of innovative ideas, because innovative ideas come from building on sound foundations and being able to see something that other people cannot see. But you cannot do that until you open your eyes. Actually, this will not just fix some of the problems of men and women and needing International Women's Day anymore. It will also, at the same time, automatically help with poverty and wealth, sciences and art. It will make balance between sciences and arts, privileged and underprivileged, youngers and olders, the heard people of the world and the unheard people of the world. It will automatically balance them. If you can do this, acknowledge existing structures, bring in other perspectives, and identify the reality. Build on the reality, not what the textbook tells you. In other words, think for yourselves. Thank you.